My Mannadium Tearlaments deck is even stronger thanks to Age of Overlord, Visas Samsara, counting as Visas Starfrost, counting as a 1521, and absolutely carrying the deck. With Visas Starfrost even easier to summon, just makes the tournament cards even better. I feel like I'm playing pure Mannadium, but with the power and brokenness of the Tearlaments deck, I think these Scareclaw spawn traps have some good use as a link monster floodgate, but also abusing the Scareclaw rival, which isn't a once per turn. And so stick around, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the video. Welcome to the deck profile for Age of Overlord Mannadium Tearlaments. I've been so excited to show you guys my build with Visas Samsara, with the new Mannadium cards like Trisukta. The one card combo from the pure Mannadium deck comes over into this version. So we're running 2 Visas Starfrost and 2 Samsara. Everyone knows how important Starfrost is, the main character of the storyline, but something happens in it and Vader, whatever his name is, destroys Visas Starfrost, rewinds time, and then we find Samsara, which, you know what, I'll take it because this card is insane. You can shuffle your banished or graveyard Visas monsters into the deck. For each one shuffled, he gains 400 attack, so he's a beast stick now. He's 1521 and he is Visas Starfrost, and because we're milling so much in our deck, we now have pseudo 1521 and Visas monsters, so Visas Starfrost is even more live, even more powerful. And then I decided to include these in this part of the deck profile. New World Formation, one of my favorite cards, can set a quick play spell or trap card that mentions Visas Starfrost, and it can be activated that turn, which is the best thing. It's also an Ishizu shuffler for spell traps that mention Visas Starfrost. So many dots being connected, and the Trivicana is a imperm, and we definitely use Visas' name a lot in this deck. Although yes, I do agree we would love to use its search effect, and that's why we're just running 1 Foolish Bearer of Goods. The deck is 51. We're running 2 of the Tearlaments Rhino Heart. We are running each of the Tearlaments monsters at 3. That's Havnis, Sharon, and the Merly. Tearlaments Kashtira, 2 of the Tearlaments Saliak, and 2 Tearlaments Scream, and then 2 Pearl Rhino, and then yeah, the Ishizu shufflers and the millers. Now I feel like everyone knows Tearlaments by now. It's, you know, the best archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh history. It's just completely broken. Whatever is better than tier 0, it's that. What I really like is we can, you know, rotate from any of the Visas engines because of Obsession, such a powerful card. Ancient Fury as well can special any of these guys from the hand. If we mill cards like Tearlaments Scream, we search Saliak. If we mill Saliak, we can add any of these monsters. Tearlaments Kashtira is a really good bridge climb into the Cross Sheep, which I do quite a lot as well. We bumped up Pearl Rhino to 2. We kept Tearlaments Kashtira at 1. You could even make it 60 if the math means you should. I'm not entirely sure about that myself. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, if I should just make this a 60 card build. If I was to run Tearlaments Crime, it would be in the side deck, but you'd have to send a Tearlaments monster from the hand to the graveyard. That's quite difficult to do, so yeah, I decided to take it out. I was thinking about running Tearlaments Grief as well. I think the card is insane. Obviously you can bring back Visas Starfrost and, you know, take out a warrior or a light monster and keep Visas Starfrost. So to start us off, we've got 3 of the Mannadium Realm Heart. We're playing 3 of the Mannadium Meek, and we're also going to play 1 of the Torrid. We're only running 2 Obsession, 2 Calarium, and 1 Reframing. The problem is when you're milling, you want your mills to be good, but you also want to have some consistency, and I just found that, you know, having 2 was the best of both worlds. I think I might bump Obsession up to 3 just because the grave effect of Obsession is really broken. Realm Heart is at 3. It's a 1 card combo thanks to Age of Overlord, thanks to Mannadium Trisukta, and because of cards like New World Formation. If we mill Mannadium Reframing Formation, can just set the Reframing from the graveyard and it can be activated that turn, which is pretty busted. Onto the Scareclaw engine. So we're running 2 Scareclaw Rykart. We are running 2 of the Field Spell, and we're running some, you know, not new if you've been on the channel. If you've been following the channel, these cards should not be a surprise to you. Decline can add a Rhycophobia from the grave to the hand, so already synergy if it gets milled, which is not the end of the world. We are running 2 of it now, but its grave effect is even better because you can banish itself if there are 3 or more defense monsters on the field and add a Scareclaw card to the hand. Now that could be Twin Sword if you mill it, which is a Sword Sword Blackout, which turns into a banished Blackout if Visas is on the field. And because Lightheart is just so easy to bring back on the field because of all the new Visas Starfrost name synergy, that's just easy setup for Twin Sword. And yeah, we gotta talk about Twin Sword's grave effect. Oh my days, guys, this card is insane. And I'm surprised tournament players are not at least testing it. If a Link 3 or higher monster is on the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard. For the rest of this turn, neither player can activate the effects of Link monsters on the field. Now I understand that can clash with cards like your Appaloosa because you can't activate its effect. But if you were to swap out Appaloosa for a Tryhard, but I still think even with Appaloosa, this card is great. You know, you can use the Appaloosa negates as soon as possible, which you kind of want to do anyway. Then when the time is right, when you read your opponent is doing a Link summon, banish Twin Sword, and they're screwed. You can't even do an access climb. And to round off the deck profile, here is my Synchro tuning package. So that's 3 tuning, 1 assault Synchron, 2 Revolution Synchron, and then we were just running some spell card good stuff, stuff you've seen before pretty much. Revolution is MVP, brings that Angel Fairy, rotates the field spells, specials a low for low from the hand, which is just so much extension by itself. You do lose the battle phase if you do the field spell effect, but most importantly, it can summon Visas Starfrost because you have the tuner and then you have Angel Fairy as the light monster. And the fact you get to mill with tuning is not once per turn. I'm just really inclined to run 3 of it, and that's why we added the Assault Synchron, just for some variance if we happen to draw the Revolution Synchron, because the Synchro from hand is a once per turn effect. However, sometimes when you do the combo, I found that, you know, the Trisukta 1-card combo does clash with Revolution and Ancient Fairy because they both want to summon Amritara. And so for that reason, I think if you see Revolution in your hand, definitely make sure with the Mannadium stuff and Scareclaw, you only go for the Synchro climbs, which is still fine, and it feels like you're playing Mannadium, which is obviously really great. And so that was the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck now. We're running Tearlaments Kaleidoheart, Vicious Estrade, 2 copies of Vicious Estrade actually, and the Mud Dragon of the Swamp, Appaloosa, Crush Sheep, and Scareclaw Lightheart. Now, in the previous versions, I only ran 1 Vicious Estrade, but because of the Samsara, because of just how many Visas monsters we're seeing in the combo, just as we play the deck, yeah, I decided to bump it up to 2, but also I didn't think Stapelia was that important, and in my previous videos I even mentioned potentially taking it out for the Mud Dragon. Now I decided not to run Garura. You just don't summon it as much. You never have, you know, 2 Dark Aquas. We don't run Danger Nessie, so it made sense to just run this card. I was thinking about running Loka Samsara to special Kaleidoheart and just cheat it out. Now that is actually quite tempting, and I wonder if that means running a way smaller Tearlament engine with mostly Mannadium with some hand traps, as this deck is mostly engine. But for now, I think this is pretty decent to run. And to round off the deck profile, let's cover the Synchro Monsters. That's Crimson Dragon, Beast of Despair, Baron de Fleur, Visas Amritara, Ancient Fairy, Mud Dragon, and Mannadium Trisukta. I found Amritara can always trigger Kaleido, pop it, do the search. It can trigger Tearlament monsters if they're on the field, maybe Crush It, brought 1 back. But more importantly, it goes for that nice OTK. If you're running Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, I learned that Crimson Dragon can tag itself out into Axel, which is treated as a Synchro summon. At the same time, it can do the same thing with Trisukta and Mud Dragon. So again, just so much synergy. Beast of Despair is pretty nice because anytime you summon Vicious, that is just so much advantage to bring back the cards you banished. If you banished a Samsara, it can be a tuner or non-tuner. But if you summon a Vicious, Beast of Despair and bring back the Samsara, there's your Crimson Dragon, which is pretty busted. But now that we're post Age of Overlord, I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep running the Synchrons. I wonder what the deck would be like if I took them out, and definitely something I will be testing. But for now, I think it's great, and obviously having another way to special Rhino Heart from the hand when you search it with Pearl or Rhino is pretty busted. And because we only run 2 Obsession, it does help that consistency. Again, Ancient Fairy can rotate the field spells. Makes me want to add the Wraithsoth with Kashtira Fenrir, and in some crazy world, no pun intended, if you do run the Wraithsoth, have a Fenrir on the field, search Tearlaments Kashtira, you summon Ancient Fairy Dragon, you can now summon Shangri-La. So that's been my deck profile, guys. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Are you going to be playing Mannadium Tearlaments Age of Overlord? And so with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.